Welcome to Offstage with Jordan Baylor, where you'll discover the stories behind movers and shakers in the entertainment and business world. Now here's your host, Jordan Baylor.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Offstage with Jordan Baylor. Today we have Ezla Lewis, a young Houston fashion entrepreneur whose latest venture, Palicos, a streetwear brand taking over the Houston, Texas scene, is what I like to call a social media company. It's got 100% of its traction, fan base, and sales on Instagram and Instagram alone. When you meet Ezla Lewis, you understand why people gravitate towards him and his ideas. He has this engaging charm that can't be taught, and a genuine wanting to help that's extremely infectious. His brand has an avid fan base who buy, help, and spread the good word of Palicos. In the interview, we discuss how to build an entirely social media brand, how to have a cult-like following, work ethic, and we went into detail on how he secured business partners for his clothing venture. Without further ado, here's Ezla Lewis.
Hello.
He is the CEO, founder, lead designer of Palicos, based out of Houston, Texas. He's currently stocked at a proper location. Is this the only location?
No, there's 2 locations in Long Beach, California, and this is just one location in Houston.
So you're currently exclusively stocked in
Houston.
In
Yeah,
Houston.
stocked,
Okay.
yeah.
And he makes his home base out of Houston as well, and
Yes.
he does Arigato Studios, which is
Yes.
his photography company, and he also does Pink Milk, which is his music. What is that? Like,
I guess music venture.
It's a music venture,
It's a music
sort of
venture.
like a record label.
Record label kind of event coordinate. It's still in the processes of it, but we do like different like listening parties once in a while.
Okay, so what makes Ezla special is he's a very multifaceted artist who has his fingers in a lot of pots, multi-tentacled, a lot of
Yes.
talent, and he does all of it extremely well.
Thank you.
So first question is, who is Ezla Lewis?
Ezla Lewis is, I guess, a character I created for myself that creates different things and uses different outlets in the creative world to, I guess, like, try to live off of it in a sense, yeah.
So, okay.
He's
I
a
like
character.
that. He's a character.
He's a character.
So does that help you create better?
Definitely, like, because, my real name, King, Ezla is just more like someone that wants to go out and just do whatever he wants, creatively,
Nice,
whatever I
carefree.
think of, carefree, yeah, whatever I love to do, like, I'll just do it. King is more, hit to himself, just kind of like yes sir, yes ma'am, kind of polite kid.
Okay, so it's like your Superman to your Clark Kent. Sort of.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. So what is the origin story of Palicos?
I moved to Houston about 4 years ago from Yokosuka, Japan, and I started working retail at Hollister. And that's the first retail job I ever had, and I fell in love with retail systems, like how merchandising certain products you have to do to make it sell, how to faux certain things certain ways, or like in design processes. And I fell in love with that, and I figured out I want to have my own brand. So I Googled and researched different things to create my own brand, and it popped to me. It's just there's no fashion shows in Houston. That's something that I can get attention real fast off of doing fashion.
So you wanted to organize shows?
Yeah, I just wanted to organize shows to get attention for a brand that I wanted to do.
Okay, so your idea was originally to start putting together shows, and then from there you would learn what you needed to launch your own
brand,
on fashion.
Exactly.
Brand.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
okay.
we needed a customer, so we needed a fan base.
We needed somebody to sell the clothes.
Somebody to sell the. Oh, can you wave at them if you don't mind? We need hello, welcome. We needed someone to wave. We needed someone to have attention towards. So we had our first fashion show at this place called Buffalo Soldier Museum. 20 people showed up, but those 20 people are super close to me. I love them all, and being from there to now, it's like a whole big, I guess, jump for sure. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my question is, creatively, you do so many things with the brand.
Yeah.
Why is it not just fashion focused?
I think I don't want people to be inspired by not just one thing. You can do multiple things that you can do, and fashion is so broad to me now. Fashion is so broad now, musically or fashion wise or photography wise. You can intertwine everything through a fashion house now and make it still look cool You know
so
what
you
I
like
mean?
to see like those fashion brands that do a short film.
Short films,
and all
yeah.
that
I like
stuff.
create like clothes are cool, but they can get boring sometimes, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like if we can give opportunities for ourselves or someone else to like create content, whether like you said, short films or little lookbooks or like photo books, like photo books or anything, like whatever outlet we can do creatively to make the brand more relevant to the public. That I'll do anything I can to capitalize off that.
Wow, I like that. I like that. How do you structure your day to day with so many different things going on? You want to do,
Right.
like you say, like you kind of do whatever pops in your head. Sort
Right,
of.
yeah.
So how do you know not to get distracted on putting together, working on a lookbook versus putting together like an event? Like,
Right.
how do you structure your day to day?
Google Calendar. Literally.
Really?
Google Calendar. Download that app right now. This is not an ad, but that app is like the ultimate. I schedule my day daily so I can like go from work, like how you said. The best way to I guess like capture it is through Google Calendar. Like I just like set different time slots of like what things I have to do. It's like an agenda on your phone. Like remember in school when we had agendas and it was like time slotted, like you gotta go to math at 7 to 8:30.
Yeah.
You gotta do this from this time. Like I literally
Like
planned
school. So
it's
you
like
structure
school.
your life kind of like
school.
elementary school.
Yeah,
in a
like
sense.
if I was elementary school to the max.
I mean,
It works.
You
You know,
learn structure.
You 100%.
I can't lie. Like I left school and I haven't really looked back.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
So
I
I'm
wouldn't
kind of
either.
like learning like how to be productive and how to make my time work. So how do you work in batches or how do you work?
So I work daily. Like one day I'll just do Palico stuff and proper. The next day I'll probably do arigato stuff and then proper. And the other day on Wednesday I'll do like arigato stuff, then Palicos, and the next day I'll do like all proper all day. Like I just like schedule depending on the demand of what needs to happen from our deadlines. Like I just kind of structure like which is more. I spend more time on what's more prioritized in our deadline schedules.
So what is the ultimate vision of Palicos and how did it come to you? Is it like always evolving or what?
The ultimate vision, the ultimate goal and vision for Palicos is to be like a beam of light, a beam of optimism through fashion or creative outlets. Like Palicos literally means positivity, creativity, and belief. And our mission is to just be able to spread optimism as much as we can. Like whether if it's just talking about the clothes or just telling someone having a good day. Like if you're involved in Palicos, you kind of smile just because you know that we're all for optimism. So that's something I want to like be able to, I guess, communicate through the world through my brand. Yeah.
So like I remember on your shirt cards or piece it says like smile more.
Smile more. Yeah,
smile more.
Yeah,
it says
smile more.
Smile more.
Drink more water. Drink more almond milk. Like we have like we go through different phases of like when we send out cards and stuff. It'll say like smile more or read more or like do this more, like certain little things like that. So
just like little tidbits that kind of help the consumer.
Definitely
Yeah.
be more engaged. Like we really want to focus on more engaging kind of things. Yeah.
I like that. And it kind of goes into the sense like you always have that idea of like camaraderie and involvement
Definitely.
with the way you work.
Right.
So what are some of the brand values that you incorporate into your work?
Brand values that we incorporate into our work. Definitely, number one, definitely spreading optimism. Work ethic, like constantly doing something, whether if it's like us taking a picture or us designing something, we're always trying to do, if we can work 5% onto the company, I know we do more than that, but if we can do something daily, at least 5% to develop the company into a better standing, like that to me is like, I guess,
But that Kaizen
method?
Basically,
Like
1% better
1% better every day. Yeah, that's,
okay.
that's how it is.
All right. So you were telling me that you're in school for
Yes.
like fashion retail, so you're always like learning how to put together clothing constructions and things like that.
Yeah, I'm in school right now.
Yeah. So can you started a fashion brand and you don't even know how to put together like all the clothes.
No.
Can you talk about like starting something without having it all figured out? Because
Right.
like so many people get stuck when they have an idea.
Definitely.
And it just kind of seems like you had an idea when you were working, you were like folding clothes.
Yeah.
What was it, Hollister?
Hollister, yeah,
You were
folding
like,
jeans.
I can have a fashion brand. I'm starting a
definitely.
fashion brand.
Yeah.
And then like a week later, you had a fashion brand.
Fashion, yeah.
Yeah. So
And
it's
then
like
a fashion show.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, exactly. I'm starting a fashion show. I don't know how to put together,
Right.
but I'm gonna figure it out.
Figure it out, yeah.
Can you talk more about like,
Okay.
do you work like that, or you just jump in? Or
I just like, so with the first time when I first ever did it, it was just a literal jump in. Like that's when I realized like, oh, you could just do it if you kind of Google stuff. Like, you know what I mean? For the first step was like, okay, I need to find clothes to make. And the first thing I did was like go to different like mom and pop shops in the area of Houston. I was like, how can I make clothes? I came up with them to them and like, I don't know, I have a brand, but I don't know how to make clothes. And some of them were like, whatever. But this one, shouts out Miss Lita from Best Amigos Embroidery in Humboldt.
Wow.
She kind of taught me like the ropes of all these things, and that's why we got into embroidery. Like she only did embroidery at first, and I was like, that's fine. As long as I can put my brand name on something, that's all I need. You know?
Yeah.
So like she kind of taught me how to like buy wholesale from different like companies and like how to like figure out how to design certain things. And I use everything off PowerPoint because of her. She only knew how to do PowerPoint.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
And I was like, you can do all this off PowerPoint? Like design and do all that stuff. So after that, I kind of like ran with it. And like to formulate a fashion show, I watched like every day. There was a point in my life every day because I was going to SFA school at SFA Stephen F. Austin for a minute. At the library every day for like 2 hours. I used to just watch like documentaries or like videos of fashion shows and like the behind the scenes fashion shows of like, how on YouTube, if you look up fashion shows, they have like those different like videos and stuff.
Yeah, those like, yeah.
I used to just watch those and I just kind of I just basically copied everything that I saw and just did it with the things I had. Like for models, I just found different models that wanted to model that I knew that they've always wanted to model. It's like, hey, do you want to walk this fashion show?
Yeah.
And like stuff like that, kind of just like using all my resources that I had, but kind of being inspired or copying stuff that people's already done.
Doing your version
Doing
of
my
that.
version of that. Exactly.
I like that.
Thank you.
I like that. I love that, man. That's like such a independent filmmaker's mindset.
Yeah.
Like, just
that's true.
I mean, that's like the mindset you'd have to have to
You
be
do.
like an independent artist of any sort.
period,
Yeah, but just independent filmmaking immediately popped in
In
my
your
head.
head, yeah.
When you were like, I saw an actor and well, he looks like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He
looks like Tom.
Yeah, if I shoot him from the right angle,
Yeah.
or whatever.
That's true.
So, how did you start to gain traction once you started your brand?
Social media. Like when I said like the reason why we did fashion shows was because I knew that there wasn't fashion shows being posted on the internet in Houston yet like that. Like it didn't look cool. I didn't see anything at the moment.
You didn't see anything that you wanted to
that
buy.
I wanted, and period. I didn't even see it. You know what I mean? And I've always wanted to go to fashion shows and stuff like that and be involved. So when Instagram started getting more poppin' and I said poppin', don't let me say that. When Instagram got more, attention and like the social media range came up, I was like, okay, we need to post this brand every single day. Like my goal for a year, like in 2016, I just wanted to post Palicos every single day or try to every single day. So then that's what got us like, we're really a social media based brand. Like,
So you learned consistency through forcing yourself.
100%. And then when we like do events and stuff, like we used to always make sure that anyone that came to us knew about us and followed us in some kind of form or fashion. Yeah, like whether if it was Instagram, Twitter, you don't have a Facebook, but
So you found your audience digitally then?
digitally, 800%.
Wow.
800%. All of fans, every person I know on Palicos I knew digitally. No, digitally.
So what are your keys for somebody that like wants to build a brand? It doesn't necessarily have to be like a fashion brand. Social media wise, how should they start and what do they need to do?
Be super interactive. Like when you start an Instagram, you're at 0. So when people start following you, just DM them and be like, thank you for following this account. Or like their pictures. You don't have to follow them, but you can like their pictures, you know what I mean? Make them feel like you care in a sense as much as you can. Like as a brand, it's cool to have 0 followers, but if you can be 0 followers and DM your followers and like their pictures, 10 times cooler, you know what I mean? Because it's just like, that's interactive.
You're bringing them in your world.
And bringing in my world, Like I want to show that like that's one of the easiest things you can do. Being consistent and don't post like weird, ugly things that that wouldn't look good. Like, I don't know.
Don't be lazy.
Don't be lazy. Like
make something pretty.
That camera felt like that camera was dirty. Like wipe off the smudge off the camera. Care a little bit at least.
A little bit
at
least.
least. Like people don't be caring when they post, but it's cool. It's cool.
So, what are your sources of motivation? Like, where do you go to refill? Because it seems like it takes a lot out of you to constantly be outpouring, you know, all the shows and the clothes and everything. So how do you refill?
I have a lot of refillers. Books like The Magic, The Secret, talking to my sister, talking to my mom. And
Who
my
wrote
dad.
The Magic?
Rhonda Brines.
Okay. Right.
Genius. If you have never seen The Secret, I feel like you should watch it. It's on Netflix. It's like kind of like teaches you how to be mentally more focused or like kind of stronger and thinking about the best outcomes. Like it's kind of like the ultimate law of attraction book. And then the Magic is written by the same author, but the magic is like the magic word is thank you. That's like how to attract even more success and more mental like grief to you, like through.
So thank you for answering that.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
You know, Albert Einstein said thank you 100 times a day. Like he made sure he said thank you 100 times a day.
Just through interaction?
Just through interactions, just so the world can give him more like, I guess, answers.
We still know him. So.
We still know him, yeah. Something worked.
I love that. So you throw events all the time.
Yes.
And you started with like no audience.
None. Yeah.
How did you do it? And what are like some tips somebody could, if they want to step into like event planning for their brand or their show, a rap show or throw a music show or whatever sort, how do I go to an event with what do I do?
The best thing when you want to start events is kind of just like make it valuable for the people coming. Like you can throw any kind of event, but there has to be some sort of value for that customer. And once you figure that part out,
it can't just be like, hear me rap.
Yeah, hear me rap, but it needs to be like, hear me rap and also watch this art installation. Hear me rap and look at this new up-and-coming designer fashion that's having a pop-up. You know, there's more things like, it's cool to just have your own show. That's awesome. But if you can make it more interactive and give other people opportunities to come in the same field and do the same thing, like you're gonna attract so much more. Like when you go to festivals, there's just a whole bunch of random things that activate the artist. Like whether if it's merch, whether if it's like little shops or like little cafes or whatever the case may be, like they're all activating the artist so people feel more entitled to be there. Like they're like, oh, since there's a coffee shop or a little matcha bar, I'm cool to stay here too. Or like, you know, just like making more things interactive for your consumers is the number one thing that you should think about trying to throw events. Super key. Customer service, super key. Second, make a good flyer.
Good flyer.
Make a good flyer. It just needs to be simple. Make it simple. It doesn't have to be too much either. You know?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't need to be like, I mean, if your style is like too much, cool. But if I can't even see where the address is, I'm not going.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I got the people out. How do I book the event? Because that's always the hardest part.
Booking the event.
Booking events. I always wanted to know, how do I position myself to
Google space events or Google like event spaces around your city, and just go visit the spaces or call them or email the event coordinators and tell them what you're doing. If you can pitch an idea to event coordinators, they might even give you the space for free. They might want to sponsor your event, you know, because they're like, oh, that's cool. That's going to attract a different kind of crowd. Or I believe in your vision. Or just figure out how much it is. Like, there's different ways to manipulating how
in your favor, I guess.
Yeah, in your favor. Yeah, like if you got to make sure that you're bringing a value to them too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you see an event space, like they're not too social media.
It's synergy, man. It's not really manipulation.
No, synergy.
Everybody
That's
wins.
a better word. That's a better word. Synergy.
Yeah.
Don't say manipulation.
Yeah.
Synergy. Word usage. But yeah, no, it is a synergy kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thank you.
I was just thinking, I was like, because it's not
manipulation, yeah.
Because it's like sometimes I want to go to an event, but or throw an event, but I don't necessarily have a huge following.
Right.
Or, you know, and I was like, what are the, put together a show?
Put together a show.
Yeah. So you put together a show recently with your
Arigato Studios.
Yeah, with your photography, Arigato Studios.
Yes.
So tell me, how did that come about, and describe to me what the show was, because I didn't make it out, neither did the listeners.
Yeah, it was super. Honestly, it was probably one of my most interactive and one of my most favorite shows I've ever done. The idea came about with Carrie, my friend Carrie. I went to his, he had an art show one day, and we just clicked and we started talking about Japan, and I was showing him my film pictures and he was showing me his, and we were just like, hey, let's bring a film. Let's bring because we both do film too. Yeah. And let's have a studio.
He's a photographer?
He's a photographer, yeah. He's like a photographer for real. He does it for real. Carrie Fagan, shouts out Carrie Fagan. But other thing. Oh yeah, and we were just like, hey, let's come together and throw like an event, like a gallery space. Called it Arigato Studios. We, created a system to get interns and like kind of like created a space, and we got the space sponsored as well. Like, just like working with different art, with different.
How did the vision start for that?
The vision started off of just wanting to bring Japan to Houston. Oh. And that's what we did. So like we had like a library center in one area.
So you missed home and you were like, I want to share.
Yeah, I want to share home.
Yeah.
I want to give people opportunity. I want people to envision home more. Everyone wants to go to Japan, but there's no opportunity of like absorbing it except the internet. But like there's so much more to Japan than the internet. So like what we did was like we showed like exclusive films from one of these directors that went to Japan and shot a film there. We had like a little cute little shop, a library in the corner, but all Japanese books. And then on the walls it was like all the photography from our like trips.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really excited for the next one because we're trying to get matcha out, like a tea place out, so it's like cooler. So yeah, but overall it was really cool. Oh, the number one cool thing about it though was that we made people wear these shoes, like these shoe covers.
Okay.
Because at first I was like, let's make people take the shoes off like in Japan houses, but then I was like, people's feet stink, and I don't like smells like that, and the room is kind of closed off, and there's no like. So I was like, let's just do the shoe covers so they don't.
That's super Japan right there.
Super Japan, yeah. So we're like shoe covers and all that cute, cool stuff. So that's what we did.
I love that.
It was an experience for sure. Definitely a different, wider demographic than what we usually work with. So it was like eye-opening for sure. Yeah.
Oh. So you have a cult-like following for Palicos. Like,
I think so. We do.
Yeah, people show up and do like they
do
things for you for free.
Yeah.
Like I've seen people work for you.
Right.
I was just like, how did you get them? And you're like, they work for free. They're just fans. And I was like, what?
Right.
Okay, so how do I build a cult-like following for my brand?
I think all the people that we have that work with us, they're all inspired by what they love to do. I always make sure when I work with someone, I know what they want to do, and then try to help them and implement certain ways of working with Palicos to show them the ropes of like how to do things as well. Like I think the best thing it's interning. Honestly, it's like the ultimate interning. That's how like we provide them, or I tell them or I'll show them like the value that Palicos can bring teaching wise and experiencing wise, because the best teacher is experience, and if you don't experience certain things that you want to do, you're not going to, fully succeed in it if you don't have that opportunity to do it. So
you're teaching through experience.
Through experience, yeah, 100%. Like I think we teach through experience. Like,
so how do you find people that want to do this?
Social media. I'll just put up something like interns wanted, or does anyone want to intern? And then people email us, or like I'll meet kids or people like, from events, or like from like different meetings, or like meeting them at the shop. And, they'll be like, oh, I really want to intern one day, or I want to work, or I want to learn things. And I'm like, okay, I can show you. And I can like give you the ropes of how to do it, but you just got to put in the work. Because everyone wants to do something, but no one wants to put in the work.
Why is that?
I think it's just because like when they see something, they're just like indulge into like what they want to see, but they don't forget like you have to do stuff to make that look cool, bro. Like, you need to stay up past 3 to print the rest of these tote bags because you have to bring it tomorrow. Like you need to there's like little things that you do have to wear, like, and people feel very entitled.
Yeah.
Now, and I want to try to break that barrier of entitlement and show them like when you love what you do, you're not going to feel entitled to do anything except make whatever you love doing succeed. And so that's what we want to.
Where did you learn your work ethic?
Working.
It's a simple question, simple answer.
I'm kidding. No, I think I learned it from like watching my parents work. Like my dad has real good work ethic. My family has good work ethic. Like the people I'm inspired by, all great work ethic.
Who are you inspired by?
Virgil, honestly. I gotta say Virgil. Very inspired by Virgil. Yeah, Virgil Abloh, very inspiring. Jeff Bezos is cool. I love Kanye. Work-wise, I just like work ethic. I like people. I like seeing people do things that they need to do and they love to do, and they make it work.
That inspires you.
It inspires me 100%.
So a lot of people have trouble finishing things.
Yeah,
that's a hard problem.
Right.
A lot of people have a million ideas. Like
Definitely.
They start and they go, oh, I got this great idea, and then they start and then they go, oh man, this is a lot harder than I thought.
Yeah.
Let me try this thing over here. Let me try this instead and put this down. I'll come back to that.
Right.
how do you force yourself to finish a project once you start? Because you do a lot of things, but you also finish a lot of things.
I don't even feel like, I guess I do finish certain projects, I guess to complete them. I just, no, deadlines are the number one things that get me. Like when I have a deadline, that's when it's like, oh, I need to finish it.
Do you put deadlines on yourself, or is it
on
the
myself?
universe putting
like,
deadlines?
It's
on
the
you?
universe and myself at the same time. So it's like when I know there's a trend in something or something that needs to come out a certain time, then I'll like stay on that. I guess that deadline. But then sometimes I'm just like, I want people to see what I'm doing all the time. So like if the longer I take not putting it out or doing it, then the less attractive or interesting it's gonna be.
Wow.
So like, I guess just making sure. Yeah, honestly, just making sure it just goes out. Like it just, I try not to like create hardships of like projects that I don't finish. It's more just like it's gonna finish one day, but I just need to put out the stuff that I need to put out now.
Yeah.
Like,
so you kind of follow the deadline tactic, and then you just kind of put everything else on the shelf
100%
until that's finished.
Until that's finished, yeah.
Yeah.
So then like people like, because it's like when you have multiple projects going on, like with me, I don't like doing one thing for the whole entire time. I like being able to put my creativity or time into like different projects constantly, because like if I'm doing this Arigato Studio project, I might have like this new idea of a Palicos collection might come because I'm not thinking about it as hard as I would usually do, you know? So like I guess like being indulged in different projects for me helps me a lot more to be able to finish certain things, for sure.
So my next question is about focus then.
Yes.
So you put all the other stuff on the shelf and then you kind of just like focus. How long, like when you batch work, how long are your like focus times?
Maybe like a day or two.
Like
maybe
4 hours or like 12 hours?
Probably
or
like,
what's a work day?
A work day for me, like usually each project I'll try to work at least 4 to 5 hours of it, depending on the like.
Is it 4 or 5 straight hours? Like you're not connected to
yeah,
Wi-Fi?
just
like
no,
working?
just like connected to Wi-Fi. I'm always connected to
but
Wi-Fi.
not like, you know what I mean? Like
but
you're not on YouTube.
Not on YouTube.
You're not a world star.
I'll probably like I'll try to devote at least 4 or 5 hours. Like when I do Palico stuff, I'll try to sit and just like trying to not get distracted off of anything and just kind of do it. But I guess like a 4 or 5 hour time frame. Sometimes I'm like for music, I only spend an hour.
No, so you do music too?
Music, yeah. When I do music, I only do an hour a day, just because like I don't. If I have an hour a day, like I'm gonna constantly want. If I limit myself to the hour, I'm gonna want to put out a project instantly. So like I'm gonna work the hardest I can to make this go out. You know, like stuff like that.
So is the music thing sort of to blow off steam?
Yeah, I guess music is like, because I don't take it too seriously.
Yeah, you don't really care about the outcome of that.
Yeah, it's just like I just want to
everything else
hear
really
myself.
Just like I
just want to hear myself in auto-tune. Like, I want to make a cool beat and listen to it.
I want to make a cool beat and then listen to it and then design clothes to it.
Yeah, design clothes to it. Yeah, have a fashion show to it. Like little things like that. Yeah.
All right, I love that.
Blow steam. Yeah, basically.
All right. So I guess to wrap up the interview, I'm going to ask you a quick fire challenge where I kind of ask you a word. I just say a word and then you just tell me like the first thing that pops into your mind.
Yes.
Okay, so the first word is integrity.
Integrity. Navy? I don't know.
All right. Second word is failure.
Failure?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
I mean, you can feel failure, but I don't think you'd really fail. You just kind of learn. It just happens. And if you keep calling it a failure, then you're going to feel more bad about it because failure is not a good word. It's like manipulation, not a good word. I've never had failure. It might seem like it to some people's eyes, but it's all my failures, in quotes, are just growth and opportunity and other open doors for me. To me, I think like problem that people think they face, I think they're just beautiful open doors that you didn't even realize. Because when you feel, in quote, failure, you have to like transition to a whole nother thing. You have to think about a whole nother way of being better. Well, that's what you should think, and that opens up a door so much greater than what you think that small failure would. If that makes sense.
I love that.
Yeah.
Diversity.
Diversity.
What does that mean to you?
The world. Diversity is the best thing that the world. That word is amazing. I love that word. You know what got me the job at Hollister? using that word diversity. Funny, but diversity means like just different, like just different energies, just like different diverse cultures, different different kinds of people,
Different ideas.
like different ideas. That's good. Different ideas, different design, just you. Just a person is diverse,
Oh, because there's many sides to a person.
To a person, so like everything is kind of diverse. Yeah.
I love that. Creativity.
Positivity and belief. I think of Palicos when I hear the word creativity. I just first think of Palicos because
You think of Palicos.
Positivity, creativity, and belief. Yeah.
Success. What does that look like? What does that mean to you?
Success, happiness. You're happy and you're just living exactly what you want to do. You're doing exactly what you want to do. You wake up feeling that what you're doing is impacting your life successfully, no matter what it is. And as long as you're happy, that's successful. That's success for sure.
Limits.
None. Limits. I don't think there's limits. I don't like that word limit either. I don't like that word limit either. I have a personal dictionary where there's certain words that I don't use, that I'm not allowed to have or try not to use.
Yeah.
And limit is like something I don't think you should limit yourself on certain things. There's a good limit of like maybe like I'm not gonna say it. There's no limits. There's no limits in anything.
All right. And what's something you want to leave the audience with before we cut out?
Do what you like to do. Don't do what you like to do as long as it's helping you in your life current situation at the moment. Not everyone is, I guess in the same category as certain things, but as long as you're happy and kind of doing what you need to do or feel like you need to do, just keep doing it. Keep following that passion and figure it out from there. There's no time limit on anything. There's no failure. So it's just you learning things and doing what you want to do.
And how can the people find you?
Find us on Palicos, Palacose, on any social media website, or on our clothing brand, on our clothing website, palicosclothing.com.
All right. And are there any questions from like the audience?
Is there any questions on there? No.
You told me that when did you start Palicos?
I started Palicos in 2016, May 2016.
2016,
Yep.
and you told me that recently the company's undergone like a acquisition or a merger partnership of some sort.
With Proper, yep.
Yeah, so tell me more about that.
So with that, we have more of an infrastructure backing from a company to be able to produce collections now.
Who's it with?
Proper.
Okay.
Proper we merged with Proper finally, and it's always been a dream to merge under a bigger company so we can get more infrastructure and more of a vision and more of a place to be able to retail out. Like how we're doing right now, basically.
Yeah.
So it's been a really good merger, and I'm learning a lot already. It's only been a month now.
Oh wow, it's fresh.
Super fresh.
Oh,
super fresh. So it's developing, constantly, and it's a great learning experience for sure.
So why did you want to go through a merger process?
I know
you wanted the infrastructure,
Yeah.
but I guess people would ask you why didn't you just do it yourself?
So
I guess
I wanted to because with me, I know I'm gonna have more than one. Palicos is just the first brand. I want to have so many more.
Wow.
Because I know.
Okay, so you're
that.
not putting all your eggs in one
basket.
This is my only good idea.
This is just one of my awesome ideas. You know what I mean? Like how Pharrell was ice cream, BBC, same concept.
Yeah.
I just want Palicos to be a successful brand, and I'll do whatever we can to do that. And I think a merger for a first brand coming up, I think is a cool way to do it. So other brands coming up can see when you merger, you can work with other people, you can do it yourself too, which is cool.
Yeah.
But there's a certain time where you're just that I want to be a part of something bigger, and a helping hand is a bigger company helping you with infrastructure. So
how did that even come about? Did you present the idea or?
No, I've been working at Proper for 2 years now. I was first a sales associate and just kind of moved up and been here for a long time. And I was managing at the Abercrombie kids store, and one of the owners, he just told me he brought the idea up of me leaving there to work here full time so I can work on designing certain things, and he brought up the idea. And also we want to merge Palicos or buy a part of Palicos to be able to build it up more. And I never thought about it, but I've always dreamt of it.
Yeah.
Of having that,
Yeah,
that
you did always
conversation.
talk about that.
I've always dreamt about that. And then when he came to me with the opportunity. I was just like, no questions asked.
No questions. This is what you wanted.
This is what I wanted.
Yeah.
And this is what life is present. Like literally, life was just like this to me. When life does that, I feel like you just got to take it and just upgrade
So
it.
how do you structure your goals? Do you write your goals down?
Yeah, I have to make this 5-year plan every 5 years, or it updates sometimes too. But 5-year plan of different goals that I want to do and want to succeed in. For Palicos, it was more just like be relevant on social media and try to make sales. But just now, it started to become more relevant in my eyes to be a part of more retailers and be more retail based and like be a lot more not sales focused, but like infrastructure focused to make this company work for sure.
Wow.
Yeah. But goals wise, another way I do goals is write it down. Like I have this little note. I mean, that's like cliche, but we have this like notebook where you say thank you 10 times a day, and then all for like my number 9, I always put like all my goals that I want to do for that day. Or for
So you write thank you 10 times, and then on the 9th thank you, you write your goal. Thank you for my goal.
Goal, yeah. Thank you for like whatever goal it is, and then because like the first one, like it's like a little method that you do to attract more, I guess, betterment for yourself, and it's like you say thank you for something, but then you say the why of why you're thankful for it.
Why you want it.
Yeah, why you're thankful for it.
Oh, why you're thankful for it.
Why you're thankful for it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just more of a place of gratitude.
Gratitude, yep.
Gratitude.
That's, yeah.
It's got me thinking. I guess my next question is, hold on, let me formulate.
So,
Any questions in the Q&A?
Japanese.
Oh.
I can't read that. My mom is there.
Yo, your mom's watching it?
Oh, but okay. So with this collection, though, I did want to say, with this collection, since it's like the first time we're merging, I wanted to focus on how Palicos came up, and we came up off of social media. And for social media, we need internet, and for the internet, we need Wi-Fi. So more Wi-Fi, please, was like the best. Like,
Oh, that's the name of the collection?
Yeah, more Wi-Fi,
More Wi-Fi,
please.
please. Yeah.
was the best way to, I guess, like activate it, because I think like you said, like when you put a story or a reason for a design to exist, it makes consumers more attracted to it, and that's what I'm kind of focusing on a lot more now too, is like making more mentally attractive collections.
Mentally attractive. So it's not just you like it, it's going out.
Yeah, it's not going out.
You're
yeah.
more like customer focused.
Customer focused. It's like, oh, there's a story behind it. That's cool. Like, it's more flowing.
Yeah.
Instead of just like bye.
I got the question. So I was thinking, like, you said that you worked for Proper for 2 years
Yes.
before.
Yes.
And you just basically showed your value before.
Definitely.
Yeah. So how were you, like, making sure that your value was noticed?
Yeah, taking pictures, doing little things that, not others were doing in the store, like just whether if it's just like picking up dust from the ground or just little things to make a store work. To me, I feel like you just have to do just working there, and showing the work ethic and bringing to them ideas and like letting them know that the things I was doing and like pitching them ideas once in a while, like whether if it's shirts or like collaborations or certain things. Like we've always done pop-ups and stuff, like in the Long Beach location for Palicos and here.
Oh, as well as Proper?
As Proper, yep.
Okay.
Proper Long Beach too, and then I guess from there they just seen the work ethic and they seen the passion I've really had for the company, for Proper and for Palicos, and they just decided to give me the opening hand and opportunity to, grow from it. And there's so many more opportunities. Like being in it now and doing the social media for referral now, there's even more opportunities that's coming through here that I'm like now realizing like, wow, that's cool. Like I'm glad it took me that much time to realize it, because I appreciate it so much more now. So it's like it all comes back to the work ethic thing.
Yeah.
I believe the more you're in tune like with where you first came from and appreciate everything around it, it's gonna bring you more value. It's gonna bring you so much more because you're showing out your value too. So.
Yeah, it's all about attitude and perspective.
Definitely.
Because, we can all look at the same exact situation.
Right.
You could have looked at it as like, oh man, I got this job at a retail shop.
Yeah.
And I'm not a millionaire, I'm not rich.
I'm not getting paid enough. I'm not getting paid enough. I'm folding these clothes for nothing, man.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You could have looked at it like that. You were like, no, I'm gonna take this I'm gonna take this lemon and I'm gonna squeeze it as hard as I can and make the best lemonade I possibly can. And it's all about perspective.
100%. It is.
Rather than taking the lemon and squeezing it in someone's eye.
Exactly.
You know, and just kind of crying about it.
Yeah. Like use what you have and synergize it to the maximum.
Synergize it to the maximum. Oh my God, I love that.
In quotes.
Synergize it to the maximum. All right, I think on that one we can end it on that.
Yeah,
one.
on that note, that was perfect.
That was
Okay,
great.
good.
All right.
Thank you for listening to Offstage with Jordan Baylor. Now go forth and create.